Motiva 6C, oder? Oder überhaupt nur 6A, wie war das?
Das ist halt einmal eine schöne Tour, ne?
Hä?
Das ist eine schöne Tour.
Okay.
Und dann muss man steigen. Psycho zur Echse.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another little progress report, climbing report from the beautiful Črni Kal. We finally made it to the more traditional sector there, the more old school sector, and I just wanted to feature a couple of nice climbing shots featuring the climbing there, what it's like, how it feels. Obviously more vertical, more slabby, more technical. Quite tricky end here of this one. Yeah, you gotta use your knees for this mantle. Well, not if you know how to do this stuff, right? But all of these, or most of these shots are on sites. So we're on sighting our way through this 5C here. Can you believe it? Super technical, super slabby.
Letzte run out. Ein Traum. Die Tour kann alles.
6C Teddy Bear.
Yeah, so we continue on with this 6C called Teddy Bear, and yeah, we finally managed to get a beautiful shot from above here from this route. This is another on-site attempt there, and I think you should be very well able to see what the routes in this kind of traditional, more central sector of Črni Kal look like. As you can see, it's limestone, it's really compact, which is a main difference when it comes to the more right sectors where we started this trip. And yeah, I can only recommend it, man. On the right sectors is a little more choice, you know, it's more new in terms of bolting, new in terms of grading as well. And here we got some really tough stuff. Right before this 6C, we just did a 6A called Dexter's Lab, and super slabby, nice slabby crux, you know. Really rewarding always to have your feet high, to get some high stepping in, yeah. And yeah, if you look at this one here, the 6C Teddy Bear, you can always see some fingers shining through there, because these holes, they are not big, yeah. It looks more steep on this shot than it actually is. It is, you know, very vertical to maybe slightly, a little bit slightly overhanging. But if you pay attention, you know, if you do proper route finding, you know, path finding, you should always get some proper footholds, and that's the key here. You gotta have your footholds in check. The thing is, on this more right sector, where there is more choice, where there's more edges, you know, more pockets, more holes, many more options, it's always, you can get kind of lost in these options, yeah? And I think I talked about this before. I like it more if there is little options, if there's only this hold, that hold, and this hold, and you gotta find your way through that, instead of, you know, especially in these vertical terrains where you can really stand and do pathfinding forever, because you don't get pumped, because you stand on your toes all the time, which is then why your toes hurt like crazy, you know. It takes forever to on-site routes like this, yeah? And usually you make it in the end, but it's not really a nice feeling in the end, because the toes hurt, you didn't use really a lot of flow, not a lot of fun, yeah. But here in this central sector, man, such compact limestone, very blank in between those holes, and I think you can see this here in these shots. There is only something here, something there, some small edges, small pockets, but you can see a lot of fingers there, so this is indicative of that it's really small holes there, right? And you can also see a lot of toe tips. And then you just have to move your way through this, yeah. A lot of pushing, again, a lot of high stepping. We will see this here in a second in the crux of this route, actually, which is coming up. But yeah, looks a lot more spectacular, in my honest opinion, in this shot than it actually is, to be honest. As I said, slightly overhanging at max, yeah? And I'm finding my way through this here, getting the draws on. What a beautiful route, man. Teddy Bear 6C in Črni Kal, I can only recommend. And it's like really route after route after route after route in this kind of style, and in these kind of grades. So this is also very, I would say, you know, suited for beginners. I can really recommend this area for beginners, not only from a quality perspective. The quality of the rock is really good. It's also very nicely bolted. The distances between the bolts are not crazy. and you can really learn how to climb there, because again, high feet are almost always rewarded. Here, as you can see, high foot with left, looking for these tiny little crimps, finding the best tiny little crimp of this rail there, matching. Well, at least I'm at least that's how I decided to do it here. And always, you know, leaning out a little bit, looking up there in these blank walls, into these blank walls, and finding the next little pocket, the next little edges. And as you have seen in the beginning of this kind of Črni Kal series, we went there in the total rain, right? It was just pissing down completely, and this removed all the chalk, right? It removed all the chalk, the tick marks are gone, so it's actually it's very nice to on-site in these kind of conditions when you really have the pure pathfinding for yourself again, because all the chalk has been washed off and stuff, yeah. So now, as you can see, we're getting quite close to Thorsten actually, who is filming this shot from above, from the route left to this one, which I think is another 5C or so, another really beautiful route. I did it afterwards as well. It was just such joy, man, to do these. You can really do a lot of mileage in that terrain, I think, if you got the grades down. And yeah, here I'm resting for a little bit, because I'm not sure how to manage this next crux. I've tried to grab the undercling for the right hand once to see if I can already hold it, but then realized, wait, I need to get my right foot higher. And this is actually the second, you know, push for this crux, getting the right foot high, and now, yeah, kind of pushing with the left hand, pulling with the right hand, getting the left foot high as well, and then pulling myself over it. And now you can see the terrain becomes a little more slabby, a little more leaning, a little more friendly, and yeah, the end is not that much harder than anymore. Yeah, what a beautiful route, man! Can only recommend it. And
Cool.
now I got my hands onto the 7B, man. It's just an absolutely humiliating experience. 7B. The crux of this 7B could as well be in an 8A, in my opinion. Yeah, if it's an endurance 8A and you've got this at the end, this could be very well 8A. But here it is a boulder crux right at the start of the route. Left hand, very bad shoulder crimp, super high right foot, right hand intermediate, left foot, bang. First very hard move, for me at least. Another intermediate with right, yeah, and then into this 2-finger pocket with thumb, yeah. It's gonna allow you to get the second clip in. The first one you can actually make from the ground, so yeah, it's totally ethical to pre-clip that one. High foot, right, high foot left. And here I'm doing a crucial mistake in a second, sorting in this this left hand crimp there. This is not the onside attempt, by the way, this is the second go. This left foot here is not very good. Bang, and here it slips. And because I was standing above the quick draw, the first quick draw, I was actually getting caught by the quick draw. I could hold the slip with my hands.
Ja, wieso? Du bist ja nirgends daneben, hast du nichts anderes genommen? Ha?
Die Echse hat mich gefangen.
Hat dich die Echse gefangen?
So here I'm discussing with Thorsten whether this is actually ethically still okay, because my foot got caught in the quick draw, and a bit of the weight of my feet obviously was carried by this quick draw in a split of a second. So I decided to get down one more time and do it from the bottom one more time. Because I had cold fingers anyway, yeah, although I powered through the crux quite surprisingly well, I must say. Yeah, now my fingers were just a little bit too warm, at least I had the feeling. All excuses, of course, yeah, all excuses. Again, left hand crimp, and what a freakishly hard 7B, look at how blank this freaking wall is, man. Third attempt, okay? I mean, 7B in my old days should have been a relatively easy onside. Although, I gotta be honest, I'm not sure about this one in particular, because, yeah, it's just super bouldery and actually quite hard to read. It took me a while to find my way through this crux at the beginning. High foot left again, sorting in the side pull, and this side pull, man, that was hard on the fingers. I wouldn't recommend holding this side pull if you're in a comeback, actually. And now pay attention to my left foot. Now I'm stepping lower, in case I slip again, that I not get caught by the quick draw. I'm stepping below the quick draw and not above it, which is something that you should do anyway, actually, always. Bang, locking off this side pull, very high right crimp there, super bad left foothold, super bad right foothold. Getting the third quick draw in, actually pretty scary. As you can see, I used the long one there because I didn't want to pull up the rope even higher. And now sorting in this side pull undercling there, very bad hold as well. High left foot, I think I get a super high right foot now, yeah. Which is not enough actually. I'm realizing here, oh damn, it's not enough. Stepping to my right hand and bang, locking it off all the way into this decent sloper up there. Still not over, small little crimp for left, intermediate, and bang, now you get this this undercling ear, which is actually quite a jog. Yeah, so once you get that, this one you will always, at this one you will always stick because it's quite sharp and
7B.
freaking 7B, man. That felt hard. That felt hard. And to be honest, I even felt this side pull. In that evening, when we were back at the apartment, I was kind of opening up my hands and closing it again because I felt this side pull, man. Just absolutely, you know, this wasn't kind of like a little bit of a slap in the face. Don't go too hard in the beginning of your comeback, man. Don't go too hard. Have not really talked about this so far, but all of the clips that you've seen in over this past 3-4 weeks on my channel, they actually were filmed inside of 1 week of climbing. So everything that you saw from Trieste, everything you saw from Črni Kal, everything happened so far inside of 1 week. And I plan to actually make another video recapitulating this first week of my comeback because I found it actually quite interesting how my body behaved. And yeah, in terms of rest days, was it smart to do so little rest days and all this kind of stuff, you know. Here I'm just really enjoying the last few meters of this 7B. Another tricky sequence, by the way. You cannot take it easy up there. So I must say this was the coolest day in Črni Kal that we had, facing our fears, facing the fears of this more traditional grading, the more old school grading, the more old school climbing as well. Yeah, thanks Torsten as well for borrowing me your shoes, the Scarpa Vapors. They really helped a lot. Stay strong and healthy somewhere out there, my friends. I will surely see you soon.
Ja. Danke.